Hi, my name is Karen Anderson,
And I'm Barry Martin Snyder.
and our website is called luminousself.com. We've also got a Facebook page and a YouTube channel under the name of Birthing the Luminous Self.
Yeah, all the links are down below and click on them if you want to connect further. So you'll be seeing this video of the session we had with Ken following this. And we had worked with Ken for
5 previous
our
sessions.
session. He came to us in a Kundalini crisis that had been going on for 2 years where he was really suffering. And he's going to relate this all to you in the first part of this before the session actually started. He was telling us what his journey has been like and how this work has helped him. And you'll hear that for yourself. For 2 years, he had tremendous pains in his head, just all kinds of emotional stuff, tremendous instability. He was really having a really hard time.
Yeah, it was beautiful to hear him talk about how working just a few times with us has made such a difference in his life. And we really emphasized in that conversation that the key difference between our work and a lot of other people's work is that every bit of it comes from the soul or the true self inside of each person who comes. We don't have a program, we don't direct the sessions, we don't have any idea what's supposed to happen with your sessions, but we do know that the eternal divine self in you knows everything about how your journey is attempting to unfold. And it can help that happen in the incredible, expeditious way that it always does that. And it is all infused with grace. It does not have to be difficult. It does not have to take forever. It can be a journey of beautiful unfoldment, like a flower blossoming.
And that's what happened with Ken. We didn't heal Ken. We don't do anything to people. We simply create a space where we resonate the divine core in them, and the divine in him came forth and did the work.
Yeah.
And if you watch after he talks about his experience of this work, you can actually, if you want to continue, see an example of how a session goes and see that happen for yourself exactly how it works. And this is for everything. It's for everything, not just Kundalini crisis, but anything you have going on. It covers the whole thing. So I wanted to share this with you, and specifically, hopefully, for people who are in Kundalini crisis. There's a lot of them happening right now as the planetary energy just skyrockets. So if this is at all resonant with you, contact us. We'll get together to see if this is appropriate for you, and maybe we could be of help to you in this. So thank you for considering this. I hope you enjoy it and may it be helpful.
Love and blessings to
Love and
you.
blessings.
Namaste.
Go ahead.
So I have been feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
The best I have felt in years.
Okay.
And I'm not kidding. It is 100% due to you guys. I
Wow.
changed nothing else. As you know, my Kundalini was running rampant. It was causing extreme anxiety. It was just boosting fears times 20, waking up every single day with ungodly anxiety, depression. It was just shoving all my fears to the front, and life was just so difficult, right? And that was going on for almost 2 years,
Wow.
right? And
Yeah.
even 4 years before that, I was just mentally not in a great spot. I was just always battling every day. And it's been about 3 weeks since our last session or so. Maybe it's been a couple weeks, I don't remember, but
Yeah. Couple.
I've had what 3, 4 sessions with you guys now, and progressively, outside of the mystical experiences that I have in session, progressively I got like 30% better and then 60%. And now I can honestly say it's 100%. And I don't feel the Kundalini effects anymore. My mental health is shot out the roof. My ambition and energy is up. I just feel generally better. I'm sleeping better. Like everything across the board has been better. My meditations are deeper. My dreams are more lucid and meaningful. Like I
Uh,
could I could go on and on.
Yeah.
I don't need to. I think that pretty much sums it up.
That's good. Yeah.
Ken, that is just fabulous to
Thank you.
hear.
Thank you.
Really
Yeah.
happy for you.
That's about as
Yeah,
good.
this is why we do what we do.
Yeah, that's
And
what
we're not doing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's the magic of this whole thing.
Yeah,
And
isn't
you
it?
know, I just I just love you guys so much. And I see the updates you guys post on your YouTube channel and some of the other sessions you've had with other people. I know you posted some, and the feedback that they give is very similar to mine, right? It's just so it just goes to show that a lot of this is just energy, right? You can't remove depression and anxiety. You can't remove Kundalini, right? So you got to treat it energetically,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I would have spent the rest of my life, or at least a long time, battling it. I mean, the
Yeah.
mental suffering was, you cannot even imagine. I won't even tell you. It was extreme. And
Yeah.
now it's like I just feel fine. I feel
Well,
great, actually.
made my year.
Yeah, Ken, this is everything for
This
us.
is what we live
We
for.
couldn't ask for anything more,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just so happy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm beaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know things are going to come up in the future, right? I know things are going to come to the surface, and I know that's all going to happen. Okay,
Sure. Sure.
but I understand that. Like, I'm probably not going to feel like this forever. Things are going to happen, but at least I have a better baseline. I know what to do, and I have so much more confidence in the future and on my spiritual path too. Like, subconsciously, I was kind of resenting it, right? It's like, what have I gotten myself into? This
Yeah.
has made life worse, right? It doesn't feel, everyone kept telling me, oh, it's going to get better. Don't worry, it's going to get better. And the beginning of Kundalini is the hardest because all the stuff comes forward. Right? It's true, but I don't want to do that for 5 years, 10 years.
Could be. Yeah.
no.
Could be. Could be long.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And so much better. So my
Yeah.
outlook is much better.
We should probably look at some places where people congregate that have Kundalini issues.
Oh, I already know where that place is. I've been to all those places. The number one place is the Kundalini subreddit. You just go to the subreddit Kundalini, and there's like hundreds of thousands of people that subscribe to that. And they're always, always, always posting in there about their problems. Right. Now, the mods of that are, you can't promote yourself, right? But there is a way to go in and, you know, comment in the sections like, hey, you just go to the comments and say, listen, I know what you're saying. All I'm saying is this person helped me. So maybe you can't make an immediate post that says, hey guys, we offer Kundalini services, but you can go into the comment section and say, I met this person, or we kind of work with this, right? That's where most of them congregate, is in a subreddit. I was there almost every day, posting stuff, asking for answers.
Do you think we could put a link on there to a YouTube, like with you talking? Would that be
Yeah.
possible?
Yeah. Yeah. And you could say, hey, just watch the first 2 minutes of this recording.
Right.
Yeah, that's all you got to say. Like, you don't have to watch the full session or whatever. Just watch the first 2 minutes. And
Yeah.
you can make many, many comments. I'm totally fine with that. And yeah, that's the number one place where they congregate. You could help so many people.
Yeah,
Like,
thinking we can help a lot of people that are really suffering.
and not just with that too, like, because people that have Kundalini are obviously on the path, whether
Right.
they realize it or not, right? So they're like, what? They already kind of are on the path and they kind of know what's going on, right? And they're having revelations and they can't make any sense of it. It's beyond the pain and the suffering and the psychosis. It's like they can't make any sense of it, right? And I couldn't make any sense of it. And that's where I think you guys can come in and be extremely valuable, especially if when you transition. I think you're going to transition into group sessions,
Mhm. That's where I want to
right?
go.
And do you think like it would work the same for?
Yes, it would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
And in fact, the group energy will really help everybody
Yeah.
because it lifts the whole vibrational field and
Yeah.
helps everybody move through what they're going through. And they get the support of knowing they're not the only one, which is how we all feel with whatever we're grappling with.
Wow, I am getting goosebumps and energy, spiritual chills right now, listening to that. That's when I know the truth is coming in. And
Right.
just hearing that, I'm like, oh, this is going to help so many people.
Yeah.
Because I went to a lot of healers, a lot. And I mean high level healers, right? You know some of them,
Mm.
right? And you know their powers. It was making it worse. I don't know what it was with my Kundalini, but like anytime I was getting high level frequencies, it was just really agitated by it,
Oh,
right?
God, yeah.
It's too much.
Too
It's too
much.
much. It's too much. I couldn't ground it. It was all up in the head. I couldn't ground it. It was driving me batty. So I had to stop. And I didn't want to stop transmissions. It's like,
Yeah.
I want to keep going to this. I just can't. I literally can't. And I went to people who specifically specify in Kundalini. They do Kundalini activation processes, like, and these are seers and high level people. They could calm me down for a little bit, but it always came back. It
Yeah.
always came right. And after just a few sessions with you guys, even after the first session, I was like, I feel 50% better, 30% better, whatever it was. God, this is great.
You know, the big difference between what we do and what a lot of other people do is that we turn everything over to your true self because we know that your self knows exactly what you need next. And if we don't do that, we're approaching things from up here and we're thinking that, like you said, you know, more transmissions could be better and this could be better, that could be better. But we don't really have the wisdom from the true self. And so we're just, you know, running around in circles a lot of the time. We're going for things that sound good to the mind, but that the soul is not really calling us toward until we really learn how to distinguish the voice of the mind from the deeper wisdom of the soul. That's what our journey's like. We're trying this,
Mm.
trying that. But as things quiet down in the mind and we drop into here, I mean, that's how all your sessions have gone. Is that we've turned them over, we've let your soul, because who wouldn't want to let your soul be the guide? And then we just follow along. And that is the crucial difference.
And that is so true because I thought with the mind, it's like, well, it's divine light, these high level frequencies. If it's divine light, it's got to be for my best interest, right? Right. And that's not always true. It just, right. But the mind thinks, well, if it's divine, if it's pure 12th dimensional light or whatever it is, or there's the other option. It's like, well, if I grin and bear it now, all in, I'll process this, but then I got a big chunk out of the way and then I can move forward. I'll deal with it now. But you guys have said in many sessions and in your blogs and on your website, that's not that's not true. It doesn't that doesn't have to be the way to go about it at all. And it can be counterproductive.
Yeah.
Now, Ken, we always keep pointing you back to this, and we always say this is one-stop shopping. But Ken, I'll try to get this across, and you're going to pick this up. All that God is resides in you as your true nature. We always use that metaphor. We're a drop in the ocean of God, and the ocean of God in the drop of our being. All that a being like Christ did, Jesus did, was this soul lotus opened up, and all the qualities, all the capacities, and characteristics of the source creator lie right in here. So what happens when we're together is we're like a tuning fork to you. We are in that space. We live from that space. And that begins to vibrate that inside of you. This cannot be done through transmissions. It cannot be done any way except through an induction that pulls it out of you. It doesn't come from outside up there anywhere. It is your truest, deepest nature as an aspect of God. So as that soul lotus begins to open up, it's prior and superior to everything. The three soul centers, the chakras, all these imbalances that people get into, like too much light or whatever, it knows exactly what to do. And it just does it. It is infinite, it's omniscient, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent love. And it just, when you're going to get this more and more, as this opens up and you get in contact with that more and you feel the divine presence, it's literally like almost like a fine substance. You'll feel it. It's divine presence. When you get it, you'll see it, you'll know it, you'll feel it. When that starts to unfold, it comes out into your aura and it goes exactly where it needs to go
Mm.
to unspool all these knots and twists and gnarls that are in our aura. And then it alchemically transmutes them into a divine expression. It's alchemy. Okay? You will see that and you will know that more. That's all that happened during those sessions. That's exactly what happened. And so we didn't do anything.
You even mentioned
Mm.
the word alchemization or something like that in your last session, because I was rereading the notes before we got together. And so I think you're already aware of that alchemical process
Yeah, very much. Not just conceptually, but experientially,
experientially. Yeah.
which is important, right? Because I didn't have that experientially, and all the places that I had gone for 2 years to try to have that alchemization happen, never did. It just never did, which is why your work is so different. I don't even know where to begin. It's incredible.
Most people don't understand it. We talk about it, but you can only experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in session when the mystical things that happened, I felt divine union in our second session with you, with God, right? I felt pure beingness in another one. If you remember, I was like crying and happy and giggling. I hadn't done that in ages, right? Just pure joy. And it had to happen experientially, and it only happened, and that was like the second session, right? And so I heard you guys talk about it before, and other people talk about it, and then it happened to me. Oh wow! And then you had said, I think Barry, you had said that's the only game in town. I think is what you had said. Like this is it. Like this is where you can live from, and I think this is where a place where you guys live from, and I had my first connection, a really good connection with that. And as the further along I go, it's developing that connection more and more, which opens up the soul lotus more and more. And then the alchemization can happen more and more. And now my confidence in that and actually happening is just really increased.
Beautiful.
It's so great.
It,
Like
everything.
your
It's,
gift is so special.
you're just getting started, Ken. It just goes on and on forever. It will keep unpacking more and more of your divinity, and it will manifest in your life. It will just express outwardly as it unfolds within you. It carries you into basically more and more heaven on earth the further you go. It's that simple.
This is why I say I get excited to meet up with you guys. Like
Yeah.
I genuinely do. I don't get like excited to go to some of the other people. I'm just like, it's more like, oh, I should do this, or I could do this, and I'm meditating anyways. Why not, right? But with you guys, I get genuinely excited about coming in and seeing you guys, and I cannot wait for more people to experience this work as you guys grow more, and hopefully some people can come to you with their Kundalini issues and kind of vouch for you guys too. I can't imagine any other way of doing it. There was no other way. There was no other way. I was never going to figure it out. And I'm just so blessed that I had 3 friends that recommended me to go to you guys.
I'm glad that worked.
They were really adamant about it.
Yeah.
So glad we got together.
Yeah, and I was hesitant because I was like, I don't want another transmission, right? I did not want another. And when you guys reassured me in that email, you were like, listen, this is not a transmission, right? This is different. And so, and for some reason, I trusted you guys. I just like, okay, I trust these two. I don't know why. I just did. I trusted it'd be different.
Had you seen the interview with Gareth?
No, I did. My friends reach out to me before. I think they told me about you guys before, and then I went and saw the interview with Gareth, and then I was like, okay, that's when I was like, oh, okay. That's when I reached out in an email. Like these guys, because people from Gareth's group were going to you guys, and every recommendation they've given me before was a pretty good recommendation, but even they had no idea what to do about my Kundalini. They just said that you guys could probably help.
Ken, I'd like to continue on this thread with Gareth. Just we both get this very strong sense. Just we've watched a couple of his recent videos, and just the people that have come to us that And Parse even said this, your work is so complementary. And I see Gareth like he had a certain kind of awakening that was very powerful and just really easy for him. And it
Yeah.
took him into those states, but most people don't do it that way.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
Don't do it that way. And they just can't go to these absolute states and then be transcendent beyond all of their human
Mm.
issues and things that need to be dealt with. And from my perception, he's trying to bring in the mother force and all that. It's really helping. But from my perception, he's not really sure what to do when people have a lot of stuff coming up that except like just witness it, just be with it, don't give it energy, all that.
Yeah.
Well, for some people, it just doesn't work very well. And
Yeah.
then we're hoping he could get to him in some way, say, look, when these people in retreat have meltdowns and they lose it and whatever, just send them to us. I mean, we can help these people get out of their suffering. Um,
It has happened on retreat too, by the way.
oh, it has.
Oh yeah, it has. Yeah, yeah. And a couple of healers had to help somebody one time.
Yeah.
I remember at another person that we both know of at one of her, I think it was one of her retreats, or I can't remember. Somebody had to be rushed to the ER because it was so intense. They had to be put on psychotropic medications to like calm them down. And yeah, so I know it happens. And I went to him in the beginning, and some of the advice was, and he's not wrong. It's like, just remember your pure awareness. You are pure awareness, but like that doesn't really resonate at my level. It's like that doesn't really help a whole lot. And I think he understands, like he has his skill set. He can't be skilled at everything. I think he gets that, right? And what he does is very powerful. I think he just, if he had you as a complimentary service, as well as other people that are
Right.
as well. And I reached out to several others. I told them about you guys, and because they knew my problems, and I said, "Listen, you should." So I haven't read their messages yet, but I gave them my testimonial, so maybe they can help you guys. I think it's been great complimentary service for. It's not a substitution, right? I'm laying it out as this is not a
Oh,
substitution to
Okay.
go to. It's like a great complimentary.
Yeah, it works so beautifully together because all those highlight openings do catapult many people down and in. I don't know if you've watched that video about the figure eight of awakening.
I have,
Yeah, and the higher you,
yeah,
the lower you're going to want to go because that's the way the soul works. It's always wanting to bring that light down and integrate it and shine the light on the places in the shadow stuff that haven't received that illumination yet. That's all part of the journey. And the soul is in the middle, modulating the whole process. It's just keeping that conveyor belt going in its own timing, its own way, its own length of time in each of the vectors. And all of that, is there for people to understand. But if they don't understand it, they're going to want to tend to stay up here.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah,
just make the dive more intense when it
When it
comes.
happens, it can be,
Yeah.
oh boy,
It's going to build up a charge up here that's going to be so intense, probably like something like you experienced.
very
yeah,
much.
You have to go down and in. You have to. It's like that conveyor belt is just going to do that.
it just does.
Yeah, and
Life,
the human us, especially the people who are on the path, we got no idea that that's how it works.
right?
Yeah,
No clue, right? And we don't even know what to do.
We didn't until we saw it happen with a lot of people.
yeah,
We've lived into everything we've understood
yeah.
because most people haven't been dealing with the kind of stuff that has come our way. So
Mhm.
had to live into all these understandings. Our souls are showing us the way all the time. Well, there's nowhere to find out this stuff,
Yeah.
Oh, no, there really isn't. And we could spend years I did it for 2 years. I was like, it's here, maybe it's here, maybe it's here. I'll read this book. I'll read
right?
the book. I'll go to that healer. Somebody out there has the answer, right? And you're spending so much time searching that you're actually increasing your attachment to searching and to healers, and you're not really the way you guys work as well is like you kind of give the tools so that the person can do it on their own, right?
So we want to.
You find your own
That's-
tools.
Find your own way, which is so important because it releases external attachments and external needs.
Right.
The best guru is in you. When you get in deeply in this I mean,
Yeah, it's
it's
everything.
everything. It'll just take care of everything. I mean, it may say go there and do this or do that,
Right.
but it's coming from here.
Yeah.
It's being guided from within. It knows exactly what the next step is, and it never makes a mistake. It's always spot on every time. And what more to know than that? That
But
you have
how,
inside of you that can guide you impeccably in the highest possible way to realizing the truth of who you are. That's what everybody wants, right?
that's exactly what we want. But how is it that this isn't common knowledge amongst high level spiritual path? Like, how is this not like how is it that you guys have figured this out? But I went to dozens and dozens of people, and like, why is this missing? Like,
It's this whole forgotten world.
Yeah,
People are very, very, very wedded to their minds.
and
And
spiritual
even
ideas.
high-level spiritual teachers and
Yeah,
facilitators
yeah,
can be doing a lot from the mind. We've watched video with people that we might have idealized back in our early days of awakening, and we see now how mind-oriented they are.
yeah.
yeah,
They're just
yeah,
there. Even people that have written books about the soul. I can remember reading some of those books back in the 90s when we first got together. And I'd read these books that were very, very popular at the time, all about care of the soul and all these things. I'd
yeah,
read and go, where's the soul? I'm not even feeling it.
yeah,
Can't find
exactly.
it in these books. It's all mental ideas about the soul. And it's a good
Yeah,
first step, right? People's minds do have to open first. And that was an understanding I didn't have until then that, yeah, okay, first we have to get comfortable with it on the mental level. So a lot of people will read our website or watch our videos, and it's taking their mind a while to really get with the program, and then they might be ready for some direct experience. But that process does take a while for some people to the degree that they are really anchored in the mind and identified with the mind. It's going
that
to take
makes
them longer.
that makes so much sense. Because even now, just 2 years in, I looking back at some of the people that I thought were quote unquote spiritual and stuff, I can recognize where their limitations are and where they're coming from the mind too. Now knowing what I know, and so it's like the highest path, as they call it, the highest truth, right? But there's even some confusion out there, even out in that ether, right? There's a lot of parallels, there's a lot of cross sections too, but there just isn't there isn't as much information out there. And maybe there is, I'm sure there's people that are similar to you guys that are out there. It's just there's 8 billion people in the world, right? And even amongst the highest level, which is 0.001% of people, right? Even there's like confusion. So the odds are just so infinitesimally small of finding somebody like you guys. This is why I wanted to, help in any way I can to get your message out to more people, is because I just feel like I've struck a gold mine here, and it's just such a rare skill set. I mean, have you guys ever met anybody that's like you guys? No, yeah, exactly. And that's not an egoic thing to say, too, by the way. It's not like, oh, nobody's like me, right? It's just true. It's just how other people operate, and it's very different from what you guys do.
Right. We would really like to be in touch with more people who want to engage this path, this way, who will in turn become teachers of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who are going to take that to the world in the unique way that they are given.
Mm.
Once you're in touch with this, and we call it the soul, but understand the soul is what you are. But within here, the core of the soul is the eternal divine essence of God. Okay? The immutable, unchangeable divinity, eternalness that we are. All we want is more people to get in touch with that and to live from that. And when they do, they will become an expression of that. And they will ignite that in everybody that they come in contact in to one degree or another. And some will become teachers of that way, hopefully, who will embody that, who have realized that, because I can't teach you this.
Yeah.
It's possible to teach you this. I can resonate it in you till it comes into your awareness. But I can't do that unless I have it. Okay? You can't give this to somebody else unless you have it in yourself to resonate it in them. So I'm just hoping that more people will come to that point where they can go out in their way. It could be somebody acting like you. It could go, you could be acting from that place, and thousands of people could get activated in a movie you were in. It can be any zillion. There's no limit to it, what a way it can be expressed.
I have been having similar ideas, even in my dreams and things, of what I could potentially do it. I don't try to put the cart ahead of the horse, but I have had in the back of my mind of, I've shared my experiences on Garrett's podcast, right? And several others. But I always felt like, I'm not really there yet. And what do I really know? And, but I think you don't have to be in Major League Baseball. If you're in high school and you're a good hitter in high school, right? You can still teach kids about how to play baseball, or even other high school people, right? You don't have to be the pros, right? That's a horrible analogy, but I think you know where I'm getting at. You don't have to be fully there in order to be able to help others in that space. And I've been thinking about that. And I've been living more from that space. And I have some ideas, and I'm starting to have dreams about it. And so it's what you had just said is sort of like really culminating inside of me, and it's going to further blossom. And some things are happening in my life since meeting you guys. The universe has been plopping down certain things to kind of help with that process, and get me through some things. And it's been, it's been really good. And that's kind of how this works too, right? It's like universe will, as you do the work more and more, those things will kind of organically kind of happen, right? You don't even have to like worry
Yes.
about it or think about it, right? Like you guys told me that in session 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And that's just how it works. That's how it's worked for you guys along your path too, right? Just the right place, right people, right time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the soul knows. It knows everything. It knows the right timing for you to face everything, for you to open to everything. It knows what's best for you in every moment, because it is you. It's the essence of you. So yeah, that it
Mm.
continues to unfold that way. You don't get to a point and then it's done. Like, that's the illusion that I had, maybe everybody had in the early days of the journey, is that, yeah, you're going to get to a point and you're going to be there. Just
Yeah.
there, and you're going to be done. You won't have to
You're
read
done and blissed out, and then Maha Samadhi out of this place, and
all the
the
time.
game is over.
Right. It doesn't seem like that happens that way.
Yeah.
And,
No,
I remember Ajashanti saying one time that even when people have extraordinary awakenings, they spend the rest of their lifetime integrating what's happened.
mm,
And that made sense. It's going to want to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And as it does that, as you embody it more and more and more, it's going to stir up whatever is down there that that doesn't, what's the word I want, that is in the way of your being able to embody it more deeply in those pockets of your being.
mm.
So, anything that is obstructing that process of embodiment is going to come up. It's just part of the natural process.
Can I
And
tell you something
you're
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
okay.
this is a very important corollary to that. I had dealt with pretty strong mental health issues for majority of my life. I won't even go into it, but it's been pretty frequent, consistent, and extreme. And there's no pill out there that was ever going to do it. Even talk therapy, even EMDR therapy, trauma therapy, all that yoga, that would always get you to a certain stage where you're still coping with life in a way, right? You're still, right? The only way to actually, from my experience, especially with you guys, is the only way to actually help with the depression and anxiety. Again, it's a dense energy, and that is to alchemize it,
Exactly.
right? Now, we're not saying like stop your medication, stop going to therapy, all that. But if you actually want to have it alleviated, alchemization's the only way,
That's it.
And
You got
it's
it.
just important to know
right?
you can't force that to happen either. You can't wake up and decide, well, today's the day I'm going to really,
Yeah,
outline that.
yeah, right,
You still
right.
got to bring it up at the right moment.
Yeah.
It's all very organic, like plants growing, like trees growing. You cannot force the process.
Because one reason that comes to the front of my mind is because maybe I had some karma I had to pay off up to that, all the way leading up to that point. Maybe, right? Maybe that's one reason, right? Maybe I had to go through something as karmically, right? Before I had reached that point, right? Otherwise, I didn't, you know, I had to go through that, or I had to learn that lesson, right? And so it's not like I can wake up and certain things you do have to go through. I understand that, but when the soul's ready, it's ready, and now the optimization process can begin. Right? I'm not wrong with that, like karma thing, right? Like, or maybe I'm off base.
Well, karma, there comes a point where karma is, you can get beyond karma in the sense that you have to repay something. It's grace comes in, and you're coming more into grace. And all the grace asks is that, number one, your eternal nature is unchanging. The eternal nature of every being is unchanging. We've never really left complete union with God. It's a dream that we have. It's impossible to be outside of God. This whole thing, in a way, is an illusion.
Mm.
Very profound one, very deep. And within it, it has its own coherent reality that we have to abide by and work with. The laws of this domain. It's just holograms within holograms, but what you really are, it's impossible for it ever to really change. And so the idea of sin,
Yeah.
that you can offend God and be punished and all that, it's more the illusions of this realm. Okay. And if you believe that and you go down that road, well, then you can have that experience, you can walk that journey. But the real message that, and that really what happened with the first coming of Christ, when the totality of the Godhead is able to be incarnated by a human being, was all that got wiped out. The illusion of that just got wiped away. And that's why I said, forgiveness. You've been forgiven for all your sins. Well, you never really had them. You made these errors, that miscreations of your own errors of misqualifying your own divine energy, which is always wanting to create. You misqualify it if it have fear behind it, or separation, or hatred, or whatever. It goes out there and comes right back. It's just the way things are built. It's not like punishment or anything else. It's just you're a divine creator, and your creations come into your experience. It's a beautiful thing, right? You find out exactly what you're creating, but it's not really karma in the sense you have to repay it. Once you are aware you're on this path of wanting divine communion with yourself and God, all that stuff, only the things, there's no punishment. It's just the things that will wake you up will come to the surface.
Mm.
Whatever that may be. And it may be in the form of an illness. It may be in the form of an accident. But it's love. It's love in action. It's the most expedient way to wake up to whatever it was that we've been crystallized and holding on to, and not able to open our hands and surrender it because we didn't know it was there, and we were deeply adapted and identified. The path from here on is the easiest path there. There's nothing but love in it. Nothing but love.
Yeah, because when I think about it, it was my sister's passing that had me searching for a psychedelic journey, which led to all this, right? Which led me to my friend that got me on the path and introduced me to Gareth. And I was just listening to a podcast yesterday of a girl that spent 3 years in a Japanese prison where there was no talking, and that's silence. She went to the absolute within that 3 years, right?
Wow.
So you're right. Yeah, it's whatever is the experiences that need to be ushered in. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Wow.
Once we turn our life over to this journey, I mean, really sincerely in our heart, not up here, in our heart, and say basically, God, source, whatever that you call that, infinite beingness that's all love and all the creator of all things and say, I'm yours. Take me. I want to come home to myself and you. And I give you 100% authority to act in my life. Man, from then on, it's grace. To the degree you keep surrendering that and don't resist, it's not a once and done. It continues to happen, but it's grace from there on in.
I didn't understand grace until I met you guys. And you repeat it so often that I know it's truth. And I also now have felt it's truth because I felt grace.
Yeah.
Now I know what it is because of you guys. I didn't understand it before. I really didn't. Not even conceptually. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
It was all mind based.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to conceptualize, but you can experience it and know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you guys always come back to these core tenets all the time.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
do.
Always come back to the same core tenets, and it's because it's true, right? It's so true. And I think your messaging is very direct, and it's not like 100 different things. It's like the same 5 things because it's the simplest in truth, right? And that's what I love about it. Yeah. And
And
I wanted to,
we needed to hear
sorry.
it.
Right. Yeah, we need to keep
We
that.
probably needed to hear it over and over. That's probably
Yeah, sometimes we do need to hear it again and again and again. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring into session today.
yeah, I'm just feeling that too. Let's segue in
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I kind of wanted to keep today's session just a little bit open, but with the intention of guiding me to what the place that I need to be and the people that need to be in my life for similar to what we had chatted about earlier. Whatever is preventing from that happening to let the best things that need to happen for that soul evolution come forward, and whatever is internally preventing that, whatever it may be, sanskars, thought patterns, or just whatever it is. That's kind of what I wanted to dive into today.
Beautiful.
Is there anything specific that's going on in your life right now that you feel is right on the surface and front and center in your experience?
Yeah, I've got an idea of next steps. I've mentioned to you guys before these 2 things that are concurrent in my life that I'm working on that are building towards something. And there's still a question mark as to where does one stop or where does one take one of them, and which one aligns with me the most. So there's this question mark, kind of like you, Barry, when you had to go back into the corporate or the banking world for a little while during your transition. I remember you were talking about that. I'm kind of like in that stage right now. And so I know that this is what I need to do right now to get to that next stage, but making it as fruitful as possible, and with the right people, because last time it was the completely wrong people and things went quite south, as you know. And so right people in my life to kind of usher in the best evolution for my higher self in the best circumstances. And yeah.
Could I ask what that realm is? Is it back into acting or what?
Oh no, it's yeah, it's there's this little bit of a question mark. So I have the idea of eventually getting into the spiritual teaching world and communicating the message and all that. But I realize time it takes to kind of put into that, and I'm already putting time into these 2 projects right now. And so the right moment, whenever the 2 projects, when I have enough from the 2 projects and they're automated, whatever it may be, to then transition that, there's a big question mark there. And I would have to move. I would have to move. I'm only temporarily staying in Kentucky right now, until the next move. And so I got to venture out into the unknown,
Mhm.
right? To a new city where, because that wouldn't happen in my small town here in Kentucky. So I need to be around other spiritually minded people. There's nobody here. There's nobody here. So this isn't the place for me. And that's the biggest question mark, is like the next place. I just have no idea. Yeah. I know you guys have had to move at different stages. Barry, in your story, you had to move at different stages in your life, right? Multiple times.
Oh yeah, I went through a period where I was moving quite frequently.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
too, Karen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both then moved as needed for different stages of the path. Yeah.
And that's why I loved your story so much. That's why I couldn't get enough of your YouTube videos. Like, that's just like me. That's just like me. And so I'm at that stage where I help getting knowing where to go at the next place. That's just such a big question mark on my mind.
Is that a question mark with respect to these two projects that are in process to be?
Yeah, that would be one of them is the projects, but also the question mark of like where should I go next? Right. Where do I get some ideas in mind, but nothing is concrete.
Okay. So, part of this piece about grace is to understand that when you get into this space here and you automatically get that connection right up. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. This is the drop and the ocean is up there everywhere. Okay. So you go up that central channel. Once you get connected with this, you can get up the central channel right into the source and you get all that the ocean is manifest through this. That's actually what happens. All of that eventually keeps coming down and down, and this opens and deepens and comes out and goes into these other soul centers, the belly center, and all that. And in the end, what ascended being is a being who's taken all of that and incarnated into their humanness. That's
I
the big.
see.
That's what goes on here.
I
Okay,
see.
so yeah, you experience this. You can ask. You can go in here. We can feel that connection up, and you can just turn it over and say, what do I need to see about all these things? It's like it's like up there on this mountain looking down at you, and it knows everything about your past, present, future, everything. It knows exactly what it wants to bring through you, because you are an expression of that. That's
Mm.
you always we each one just a drop of that. Okay, so it knows exactly how you fit into this whole cosmos that we're
Wow.
interconnected with. It knows exactly how to get you there. So you can experience that today. There's another way for you to understand more how this works by
Yeah.
taking issues in, and we'll do that with them.
Exactly. It's another level of deepening in the soul is to be able to take every question into that space and turn it over. And it automatically accesses all the highest
Yeah,
energies you're capable of
yeah.
accessing.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that one. I like that one.
Yeah, you'll be taken on a journey that just incorporates whatever it is that's ready for you to know about it today.
Yeah.
And then lead you to your next steps and your next and your next. It'll all just magically unfold.
So let's just go ahead and do it if you're ready.
Yeah,
I'm totally ready. Yeah, let's
This is everything.
wonderful.
Take a minute.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get it.
Yeah, so let yourself just get really comfy. Feel the surface that you're sitting on really supporting your body. Make any little adjustments so that it's comfortable. And let's just become aware of our breathing and the way that the breathing is happening all by itself. Every in-breath is a divine gift that happens without our doing anything to deserve it or to make it happen. And that's really how the whole process is. So as we sink into ourselves being breathed and feel the reality of that, It helps us sink into the entire process of knowing that we're not even really the ones living this life. Life is being lived through us in every moment. So let's invite the breath to carry our awareness right into that space in the core of our beings, where the divine spark is living in us as our true self. That spark of eternity and infinity right inside our physical form.
And know the more that we go in and commune with that spark becomes a flame. It catches fire. And that flame goes bigger and bigger the more we commune with it.
And the more we turn our lives over to it. So right now, as you feel the breath carrying your awareness into your heart of hearts, your core self, you might find that there's a prayer or an intention or a deep yearning that's rising up. And you just might want to give voice to that, to set your intention for this time together.
You feel it coming in. It's so strong. The intention is for the right next steps forward for my next journey in the career, right? With the current projects and the next one, and the right relationships as well. Meeting the right people or person.
So as you settle into that divine space where that presence is, you might just feel how there's a connection, a column that goes right up through you, out the top of your head, and goes up to that presence of God, the source. You just like feel upward, look upward until you feel that presence above you.
Feel it
It's the source. It's your source.
coming in.
And you can simply commune with it and just invite it to come down, to come into you in ways appropriate today, and to give you everything you need to see at this point in your journey ahead. It might not give you a full 10-year plan, but your next steps in terms of this question about your move, the right people, all that, but just basically give the whole thing over. Just send it up the tube, send it up to God. Here's all the things I'm thinking about, yours, and I'll just wait here and you just show me what I need to show, see.
And then just be available for how the journey begins.
I feel so lotus. Wow. Oh, wow. This might be the strongest energy I've ever felt. I'm turning it over. Thy will be done.
That's it, Ken. You just did it. You got it.
I've never felt this much energy in the heart space before. Every time I ask a question and turn it up, everything's expanding in all of my chakras. It's it just sent me an idea that I had to immediately write down in my notepad. I didn't come up with that idea. just came to me. So much downloading in. Another idea came in. I just wrote down. It's starting to, I can't describe it, but it's starting to piece things together, things that have happened, the potential. And there's a hint of why certain things have happened, especially recent things. And now my entire right arm is vibrating with energy. It's literally vibrating. There's so much information that's coming in energy. There's this warm energy, this expansion of warmth. The only other time I felt this was when I took MDMA, and that initial come up. It's not as strong as the peak, but it almost feels like an MDMA come up, build up. It's like love expanding in my heart. It's like confidence, understanding, joy, excitement.
When Yeshua said he would send the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, I think this is what he meant here, what your experience. It's the direct communion between the Godhead and our soul. It's very comforting, very soft.
Yeah.
Everything's in it. All the wisdom's in it, the guidance, peace.
So this is the Holy Spirit. This is what it feels like.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
This is such a great feeling.
Nothing to do with Christianity.
No,
Mhm.
if only it did. If only this is what they were communicating.
Yeah.
Mm.
I got lost way back a long time ago.
You can just invite that peace to go everywhere inside of you that it wants to go, Ken, and everywhere in your aura and all your energy bodies. It knows where to go.
And there's a big expansion happening after asking that. I haven't felt this kind of joy and wonderment since my first day at college, or my first day when I moved to Korea. Everything was new, and I couldn't wait to explore everything, and I was so excited. This is what that feels like. had certain fears around, like developed around the business that I was working on. Some horrible things that happened, and it seems that I'm asking it to help alleviate some of the residuals from that subconscious fears that I was having about jumping into something again because of those experiences. It's, I can feel it. It's, it's actually pinpointed it in the sacrum, and I could feel it expanding down there. Yep. And now I feel it coming up the system. I think it's going to channel upwards and out.
Beautiful. If there's anything you need to see about any of it on the way, you're available, so it will just happen. And otherwise, it will just like stream right up and out.
Oh, wow. You're right. It knew exactly where to go. Now my stomach is, I can feel the energy twisting and turning as it's, it's rumbling. Oh, wow. This is like surgical fear removal precision here. Yeah, that's where it was in my body. That's exactly where. My confidence had taken a shot as well as a business owner later after what had happened. A series of things. Whether it was what happened to me or the mistakes that I made. Confidence took a hit. And now it's working on that, even though I didn't ask it. I could feel that that's what it is. I can't explain it. No, I just asked for help with five other fears in this. Figure, why not? Let's give it a shot while I'm here, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I could feel this big, like it was this thought that came into my system.
It's really just feeling into those fears, what they're all about, getting clear. You understand the walked around it, looked at it from whatever you really see what they're about, and then just send it up the tube, just send it up to God. They're yours. They're yours now. I'm not trying to figure this out, resolve it. You just take through your grace.
I just started throwing just a bunch of stuff on that list that's been bothering me, and I just feel the energy gathering and gathering and gathering.
That's great.
Oh, those lower chakras are really getting a big makeover right now. I, oh my goodness. I've never felt this much down there. This is where those fears were hiding.
Exactly.
Wow. Man, it just keeps getting stronger and stronger. There's nothing harsh or really painful about it. It's like you said, it's like gentle and warm and loving and graceful. Yeah. Third eye expanding rapidly. Very, very rapidly. Oh, yeah. Now my entire consciousness is shifting. Okay, I've stepped into somewhere else now. I'm somewhere else. Oh my God. I am directly connected. Whoa. Like I stepped into a portal. Oh yeah. Now these chunks are really leaving. Oh, it's like a vacuum cleaner. It's just sucking it all right out. I can see the light pulsating in my closed light visual. Shit. There's no way that much just left me. It's still leaving. My lower chakras feel so much lighter. Oh, every chakra is connected. My third eye is clearing. It's using that surgical precision. It's working there. I think because I asked it to help me with my limiting beliefs. It's doing the same thing up there that it was doing down below. Uh, 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 well, these are things I thought I was going to live with for the rest of my life. Feels like it's like, oh, it feels like it's going to be better. I can't believe it's happening. Now I'm getting downloads of understandings about my unique makeup. This feels like some kind of psychedelic trip, but way better. It's like it's not coming from something I ingested. It's coming from myself and source, direct connection. I'm starting to see, okay, okay, it's starting to piece some things together now. Now I know what you meant by this is where answers come from. I don't have them yet, but I can feel exactly what you were talking about. Things that I'm not thinking with my mind are coming in. I'm not doing it. Things I would never have thought of. Feels like the beginning of something. trying to not let my mind get in the way. Drop them. Can't believe how big these chunks are. I could feel them literally being almost like like a it's like it's clenched and then pulled up and out at different spots. And then I'll get a sometimes it'll be a sense of what that was, that fear was. Not every time, but I'll, oh, that was from that trauma, or that, oh, that was that fear. Wow. I have had quite a few mystical experiences, even with you guys. This one, oh, wow. This one incidentally of its own. Oh, should have something down. It just made a connection for me. There was something in my life that was so peculiar, and you can't believe there's no way that that was a coincidence. No way. It was a name that my team and I had created at the business for a particular function of the platform. It's a very, very unique name. And then there's a company that's in the exact same space, that has the exact same name for almost the exact same function. We don't have any of our information out publicly. Now I know I need to explore that, whatever that means. It was called the Muse. And again, we didn't put anything out publicly. So for a company in the same space to release a similar thing with that exact same name, as far as exploring. It's making other connections similar to that. Holy shit. If I could just sit in this space for like 8 hours, I will answer everything in my life.
You got it.
I have so many more questions. You know, I know that we've been running on and I want to respect your time. So maybe this is a really good place to pause and let me
You got,
stay in space. Yeah.
you
Yeah,
got it.
why don't you just stay in that space and keep going,
Just keep going.
and we'll just say
Yeah.
okay, goodbye.
That's good. Then the training wheels can come off and you see you got it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, you guys are such home runs every session. I just cannot tell you.
Have fun, enjoy.
Wow,
Can't
this
wait
is
to
the
hear from you,
best.
Bobby.
Much love to you.
All right, thank you guys.
Oh,